Buongiorno everybody. We are here today to use up some more of my zucchini because I have a little bit more than I was planning on having this week. So I hope you all had a good bright sunny day yesterday. Today here in New Jersey we're kind of gloomy. I don't know, it's kind of like one of those half and half days, doesn't know which way it wants to go. You know, just not, I don't know, it's muggy. But I'm looking forward to this, what we're doing today. So I'm gonna have this handy. And, I wonder if there's anything, oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make some minis today. That's gonna be fun. So I decided today to make some zucchini bread. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, the only thing I didn't get out was my grater. I usually keep it right here in the front, and it was all the way in the back. The other thing that my guys do, you know what they do? They put my things away. Like I have certain coffee cups I like to use, and I always keep them on the first shelf. All of a sudden they look and they're up there. I can't reach those. Just because they're tall doesn't mean I can reach, you know? Oh, the troubles of not being very tall and having other people you live with that are. All right, so we're making zucchini bread today. And we are starting with, now, first off, I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of different ways to do this. Lots of different zucchini bread recipes. This is one I've had for a really long time that I've modified a couple of times, and there's still some tweaks I'll do to it here and there. What I'm trying to explain to you, Lucy, what I'm trying to explain y'all is that, I hope people on here remember Lucy, is that even though they say baking is a science, there's tons of ways to tweak things and to make them your own. And even when they don't come out perfect, they're still really good. I love things that are light and fluffy. I also love things that are dense and I don't know, like that, you know, like pound cake or like a heavy banana bread. They're completely different than a light, fluffy angel food cake. To be honest with you, that airy stuff doesn't do it for me. But, you know, is what it is. Let's see who's joining us now. It is Angelina. All we see is your arm. She acts like she's tired. She's been up for hours.
I'm so tired.
She's so tired. Oh, to be a college student. All right, so we're gonna start out with 3 eggs. This is a glass bowl, so I can, and it's a big bowl, so I can, and I'm not putting it in anything else. I'm doing the eggs first. Ow, that's like a sharp. That was weird. It was like it broke and it was like a sharp piece. I couldn't break it open. Ah. 2. And 3. So, 3 eggs. I'm gonna beat these babies up real quick just to give them a little, you know. Add to my pile. There's only 1 glass in there. Actually, speaking of glasses, I got myself a glass out because I'm so like humido today. It's very humid today. And I want to make sure I had my quenches your thirst better than regular water acqua minerale. Love it. Make sure you close it tight. Then you can't open it again, but you know, gotta keep the fizz. Oh, that's so good. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do it separate. I don't always. A lot of times I just throw everything in, but I'm gonna do it the nice way today. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of sugar. Now, mind you, this recipe that I got, this original recipe, probably 30 years ago. Actually, no, probably before I was married. So more than 30 years ago. And, I told you I was married over 30 years. I was only 12 when I got married, you know. Just kidding. Okay. So anyway, it had like 2 cups of sugar in it. That's ridiculous. So I've dropped it down. My official recipe is 1 cup of sugar, but you can also do like half a cup of sugar and half a cup of honey. And honestly, when I do half and half, I put less than half a cup of honey because you really don't need that much. I have this good natural organic sugar. So, I mean, I've got my good Italian honey here, but I'll be honest with you, I only have a couple jars left. And since I can't go this year, I'm kind of hoarding it. I might just put like a spoonful in. So, I've got my good organic sugar here. Let's take all my lids off. Oops, sorry for the noise. Let's see. I'm gonna put just under a cup of sugar in there. Then I'm going to put in my zucchini. Well, I'm gonna mix up my zucchini. Actually, I'm putting my dry stuff in here first. Let's see, my 3 cups of flour. So what I'm doing, let's move that over, is I'm doing 3 cups of flour. I'm gonna do a cup, I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna do half white and half whole wheat. A lot of times I like using that white whole wheat that they have now. It's really nice. It's good to bake with. It gives you more or less the nutrients of the whole wheat. So there's 1. And oh, that's about half. Let's take a little bit of that out. Oh, I already had heard from you today, mister. And then I'm gonna do 1 and a half of whole wheat. This way, I get the benefits of the whole wheat, but it's not going to be too heavy, you know, so it's a nice. Now I'm going to put in 1 each. And mind you, I've seen recipes that have only baking soda and some that only have baking powder. I'm doing both. 1, well, that was actually a little scant, another little pinch in. And 2. So 1 of each. I don't know why. Works for me. It's science. That's the science part of it. Oop. Don't you love black aprons when you're baking? And then I'm going to put in a pinch of salt. Probably the equivalent of, you know, half a teaspoon. Even though my recipe calls for a teaspoon, I never kind of go the full teaspoon. You know, never. Cinnamon. So I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Pop this top off. Oops, a little heavy. That's okay. Cinnamon's good for you. And it tastes good. And now, you know me and my favorite nutmeg. I'll put some nutmeg in. Not a lot of zucchini bread recipes call for nutmeg. So I do. This is my personal addition. Maybe if I hold it in a steady spot. That was about half a nut. I don't know what that translates to in teaspoons. Probably half teaspoon or so, maybe a little more. All right. So that's all my dry goodies. Now I'm going to add the rest of the stuff to my wet stuff. So now, my original recipe called for 1 cup of oil, and you can do that and it comes out really good. I'm trying to cut a little bit myself on these things, so I'm going to go half a cup of oil and half a cup of milk, which I didn't get out yet. The other option would be to do half a cup of yogurt or half a cup of ricotta. Ooh, I should use the ricotta. And we're doing that. I'm doing something else with the ricotta tomorrow. So, this is actually 2%. I flip-flop. I sometimes use whole, sometimes I use 2. I kind of go like 2/3 of the time I buy whole milk, and every now and then I buy a little 2%. Anyway, let me get my measuring cup because I didn't get that out. I'm looking behind the glasses and it's above it. Okay, I got crumbs in it. So I'm going to do half a cup of milk. I love milk in the cartons. So much better than in the plastic. And I'm going to do half a cup. Now, You can use olive oil, you can use sunflower oil, you can melt up some coconut oil, which is also really good and healthy. Today, because I didn't melt it ahead of time, we're gonna use the olive oil. Not like, olive oil, zucchini, goes good together, So we're gonna do half a cup of olive oil. Now this is regular olive oil, it's not extra virgin, that's a much stronger flavor. But you can use extra virgin and it's really good. I just happen to have this one closer today. And I only had a little bit in my extra virgin container, so I figured, well, I don't feel like going in the closet to get the next one out. See, this is called Lazy Kitchen. I'm just kidding. All right, so, and now we're just gonna put in a little bit of vanilla. 1, 2 capfuls. It's probably a good teaspoon and a half. I'll put that aside for a minute. And we're gonna put this aside for a minute because now we're gonna do the fun stuff. And that is, take the zucchini and grate it. So, you can do this however you like. I like the skinny side, but every now and then I throw in a couple chunks because I think it's pretty. I'm just gonna take the end off here. And I'm gonna start to grate. You figured this is gonna make it would make 2 loaves or a loaf and a bunch of, cupcakes, or I'm gonna make some of the little minis because they just like pop them in your mouth. It's a good little snack. So you think approximately 2 cups of zucchini, which would be about a cup in each one. That's a pretty good amount, or you can do more. So I'm gonna see what this gives me. I very seldom actually measure it. I eyeball it. You can also put nuts in optional. I'm not doing that today just because I'm not in a nut mood. And besides that, Angelina's got her wisdom teeth coming in. And everything hard, even if it's just a not too hard walnut, it's bothering her. So we're making things kind of smooth, healthy. So I'm probably gonna put a little extra zucchini and no nuts. I'm gonna put a little bit of the big one because I like the big shred. This is a great thing to do when you've got these zucchini like this one that's actually an extra little bit kind of gotten fat and it's got more seeds in the middle, but when you grate them up, just a little extra fiber. Some people will tell you, oh no, use that. I'm like, baloney. It's still edible and it's still good. And in a zucchini bread cake recipe like this, you really can't tell much difference at all. You can't tell any difference at all. Now this neck is a little soft, so I'm not using that. Okay, let's see how much we've got here. Ooh, yeah. So I've got some that's the thin, the fine one. Here we go. And some that's the little thicker. So this is a good, easily more than 2 cups. So that was one good big zucchini. Just gonna get all this on here. And we're gonna just put this in here too. All right, so let's do this. Let's get out my handy dandy picker upper. Put that in there. Okay. Oh yeah. Just get those in here. Now we're just gonna add all of our goody dry goods. Oh my gosh, it smells so good already. Now you have to pay attention. One of the things I was going to say before, in using whole wheat's denser and it absorbs more. So if you can either do one of 2 things. You can maybe put a smidge less. If you're using half whole wheat, then put, instead of, if it was 1 1/2 and 1 1/2 cups, put maybe 1 1/4, because it'll soak everything up, or be ready to add a little bit of wet afterwards. I'm debating right now. I might just add an extra smidge of wet. I don't know, actually this might be perfect. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So it's a nice, thick, this is about where I want it, you know, just because I'm gonna add a dash. Probably 2 tablespoons. Just because, you know, makes me happy. Yeah, that's perfect. That extra little drop. Really, truly, recipes are wonderful, but you do have to be open and not be afraid to say, that looks a little dry. But the recipe said this is the way it is, so let me just do it. And then your cake is dry. You know what? Use your intuition a little bit. Look at this now. It's a little bit wetter. It's a little, you know what it is? It's smoother. So that's just that 2 tablespoons extra milk. Okay. So actually, I'm gonna do these first. These little teeny baby muffin pans. I love these. And they're great little snacks. This is also one of those great recipes. Like if you've got a college kid who's an athlete or something and they want to be healthy and protein and all that kind of stuff, you can totally add a little bit of almond meal in here. So say take a 1/4 cup of the flour out, put a 1/4 cup of almond meal in. You could add some protein powder if you want. I do it once in a while. I'm not a huge fan of protein powders, but some people are, and it's totally fine. If you do, put a vanilla in, although a chocolate might be good too. You know, there's something stupid. I love taking the oil and going around the muffin tins. Actually, those were kind of dry. There we go. There we go. Now, instead of using my great big spoon, I'm just going to put 1 little spoonful in each one here. You know, I'm going to do with a couple of these. If these are done in time, I'll see my, I'll put 3 or 4 of these in a little baggie and give them to my mail carrier. This is like a nice little snack for somebody. You know, you go into these, and you know what? Maybe I'm just going to do this for I love taking stuff to my people at my grocery store because they're all working hard. Everybody's giving to the frontliners, and I do too. I've taken baked goods to them too. But can't forget all the other people who've been working through all this at the grocery stores, the gas stations, and all that stuff, you know. Mail carriers, garbage men. Okay, let me take some of this. Make sure I don't leave any on here to burn. Okay. All right, let me stick these in here real quick. Yum. So, I'm gonna put those in. I'm gonna get this pan ready. You can oil or you can flour. Oil and flour. It's up to you. Sometimes I feel it's just the oil works fine. I think it depends on the recipe. Because this recipe has oil in it, I don't think it sticks very much. A lot of times when the recipes have a lot of butter or a lot of oil, but oil more so, butter will stick more than oil will. But if it's got a lot of, you know, just like, you know, good cookies, you don't need to grease a pan because they got a lot of butter in them. Okay, it's got all my sides in. Oh, yummy batter. This is so not the right spoon to do this with. It's better to just do it this way. There we go. All right, and this will be ready to go in after my mini muffins come out. So we're gonna let those cook and hopefully they'll be done before we're done chatting. We did good. So we made zucchini muffins in half an hour, and that was with a lot of chit chat in the middle. So So it's really nice to see all of you guys today. And you know what I've noticed? This has been so cool. I've noticed that people on my page are saying hi to each other now. It's like you guys are getting to know each other. We have such a great little community, and I'm so glad because like you guys are all from all over the place, and I just find it so exciting that people are connecting because of my stupid little show. So I do hope that you all have been enjoying all of this, and let's see if I can answer anybody have any questions about what we were just doing or anything that's coming up. I would love to hear what you've got to say. So if you're on, please let me know you're here. Please share anything that you that you're doing. I've been working a lot on trying to make this, better on the daily. I haven't really implemented a lot of the new things I want to do yet, but Leo's coming home soon, and hopefully I've got me a nice helper. Have I ever used sour cream in the bread? I don't think I've used sour cream in this one, but that doesn't mean I haven't. I may have. Sour cream, ricotta, yogurt. I tend to default to yogurt and ricotta more often. Lately, I do a lot of the, and it's kind of because I always have those on hand. I often have sour cream, but I don't always. And the kids use that for their dips and their salsa. They're the one little thing that we do that's not really overly Italian, but we tend to do a lot of this other kind of stuff. But but I'm sure it would be totally fine with sour cream. Sour cream, ricotta, and yogurt are going to give it a smidge of a different tang. But the main thing they give it is that density and that moisture. But it's great without it too. So this is the regular way. Another day I'll make it the other way. It's just, man, look at all the flour on my shirt. On my apron. It's so funny. So anyway, but I forget what I was going to say. It's all good. It's all good stuff you can, add to it. And again, these, like I said, I say all the time, these are the kind of recipes that you can easily modify. You can, like, another way I like these, and I may do it on the last loaf, is I love raisins, personally. I love that little bite of sweetness. And because it's, it's actually not very sweet, but even so, when I took that spoonful of the batter, just sweet enough, so good. I love batter, and I don't worry about raw eggs either. You know what? All over the rest of the world, eggs do not go in the refrigerator. Why do ours go in the refrigerator? Eggs cook better when they're at room temperature. You want to poach an egg? Room temperature eggs poach much better than cold eggs. You know why? Because you need boiling water, and it needs to roll around that egg. And as soon as you put a cold egg in there, done. It cools the water down, and then it has more time for the egg to spread apart, and you don't get that nice, compact poached egg. So one trick that I learned from experience, just by my own trial and error, was by fluke that I had some room temperature eggs that I was poaching one time, and I'm like, oh, look at that. What a difference. So it really, really is different to poach an egg with a room temperature egg. And a lot of your baked goods and a lot of other things come out better with room temperature eggs. So take your eggs out first thing in the morning before you start to cook. And it does make a difference. So there's another little lesson for you. It's a funny story about poached eggs. So last week, I don't know, I go through phases with these different things and for breakfast. And so last week I got on this, I started about a week or maybe a week and a half ago, I started on this kick with poached eggs. Let me get on my poached eggs and we're going to go back to natural eggs. So the poached eggs. So I got on this kick, and when you poach an egg, if you put just like a half a teaspoon of vinegar in the water, up to a teaspoon, but not much. For some reason, it also helps it stay together. So my husband's never seen me put vinegar in it before. I'm usually over there. He's sitting down, whatever. You know, he just doesn't pay attention to me in the kitchen. He still asks me questions that I've been doing for 30 years. I'm like, I always do that. He goes, why don't you try? I'm like, done. Anyway, so he saw me put a little vinegar. He goes, what are you doing? I said, you just put a little vinegar in. So the other morning, he's got up early and he's like, I'm gonna make poached eggs. I'm like, okay. And he'd already gotten started. And from the other room, now I wasn't close by. I said, did you put a little vinegar in? He goes, yeah. And I walk over and I could smell the vinegar. You usually can, if you can smell it, just barely. Oh, I can see puffy little muffins in the oven. They're poofing up so nice. Anyway, so I go over and I'm like, woo, you put vinegar in here. And he's like, yeah, just a little bit. I'm like, his little bit and my little bit is a big little bit of difference. So he took the egg out and he's like, he goes, you want one? I said, no, honestly, I said, I don't want to eat yet. And so he took one bite of his poached egg. He spit it out. He's like, way too much vinegar. And I'm like, and all I could do was sit here and laugh. I'm like, oh, just a little bit. He goes, wow, that's really just a little bit then, because I swear I put just a little bit. I'm like, a little bit was probably like quarter cup or something, you know. So anyway, he's learned to let me either let me make the poached eggs or to actually use a spoon because he can't judge. But he hasn't been doing it the way I do it, or many of you guys might do it. We know better. So it was funny. It was, I so enjoyed it, you know, because don't you love when they come in and think they can do what you can do? Psh, no way, man. Not if you're not practicing. So anyway, about eggs in this country versus other countries. Also, a lot of like Kathy just said, we bleach the crap out. We clean them as soon as they're out of the egg, out of the shell, out of the chicken, and you know, we're cleaning and we put chemicals. We, you know, so afraid of everything that goes along with, which is, you know, somewhat valid. But why is it I can go in my backyard and get an egg if I had chickens, which I'm really thinking of getting, and I can just wash it off with water or soap and water, and it's fine for me to eat. And in fact, they say you're not supposed to clean your eggs until you're ready to use them. So now we've cleaned the heck out of them. The other thing is, you don't know where that chicken was laid, that egg was laid, that chicken laid that egg. Those eggs could be coming from California, or they could be coming from one state over. But even so, they get plucked from the chicken. Then they get, you know, put somewhere, and they go to all these different phases. They get cleaned, and then how many people have handled them, and then they get put in boxes, and then they get sent to a store, but they're on a truck for a day or storage, or that. So we don't know how old the eggs are when we get them. That's another issue. So yeah, if eggs I bought in Italy that were on a shelf in the grocery store were 3-4 weeks old, then yeah, they probably would be in a refrigerator. But the fact is that they probably came from a chicken within the last couple days. And that's a huge difference. Eggs have a really long shelf life. And if you take care of them right, you know, obviously they have a long shelf life, or we wouldn't be getting them. And that's why they want us to keep them in the fridge. They're covering their, So, you know, if you buy, especially like there's some people here near me who, you know, out on the road, they'll have, obviously they've got some chickens and they sell their eggs out, you know, by the dozen, and you can go buy them and leave your money. But when you know it's like a fresh egg like that, you can leave them out. You really can. And they make better poached eggs. Oh, it smells so good in here. I can't even tell you. So, you know, consider that. But if you have, if you have them from a good local source, then you don't have to worry so much. And especially if you buy the organic and the free range, they tend to put less chemicals on the outside, if any. I don't know. I haven't researched it fully, so I'm not going to sit here and make a blanket claim. But I do know that most of your natural people don't use the chemicals that obviously your commercial quick push out as many as you can people do. So got to be healthy, you know. Got to be careful. We can't control a lot of things in our life. We can't control the air around us that we're breathing unless we're in a bubble. Right now we're sort of controlling our air by staying home. We're not breathing other people's air, but still. Yeah. can't necessarily, you know, control the water that comes out of the faucet. You can't control, you know, the cars coming down the street. There's so many things out of our control that keep us alive. But there are things that we can control. And the number one thing that we can control is what we put in our mouths. We can't control what they're putting in the crap food in the grocery store. All the sugar and all the stuff that they put in the sodas and the fruit snacks, and they call it fruit. Thinking, you know, it makes you think it's, you know, oh, it's a fruit snack. Oh, that's a healthy snack. Baloney. It's crap. My mom used to make homemade like fruit roll-ups. You know, you puree the fruit. She'd lay it on like parchment paper and put it in just a warm, well, I think she ended up with a dehydrator, but you can also just put it in a warm oven. You turn the oven to 200, let it warm up, and then turn it off. And then put like, you know, spread this puree like applesauce, real thin, on parchment paper, put it on a cookie sheet and throw it in the oven. Just let it sit for the day. And you've got fruit leather. So it's basically, you know, fruit when you cut them, fruit roll, and roll them up with the wax paper, and you got your own fruit roll-ups. You know, if they're not you know, neon blue and red, well, you know, tough baloney, because, you know, make blueberry ones and then they'll be bright colored. But, you know, you don't need all the artificial color. But you can buy natural food colors. Actually, let me give a shout out to King Arthur Flour has the best catalog. Get their catalog. Get the paper catalog. They have recipes. Now, some of their recipes are for their mixes that they sell, you know, their cookie mix, their cake mix. I don't like those, but the ones that are just, they do have some really nice recipes. They've got really nice spices, of course, flour. And they also have these natural food colors and natural foods, like natural sprinkles. So they're sugar that are colored with natural colorings. So it's really, I mean, they're not in your face brightness, but they're really pretty, and they're, you know, okay, if you got to have sugar, do you have to have the kind of red that gives you cancer? No, have red that's made with beets, and it's a little earthier looking, but it's so nice. But, you know, if you've got kids or you've got grandchildren, or a great, you know, shower gift or something is like a basket of all those natural herbs, spices, extracts. They've got really nice extracts. Now, I will tell you, I buy my vanilla extract at Trader Joe's. It's a really nice one. And it's right now, even though stuff's really expensive, it's still only about $10 a bottle, which is a lot. Usually it's about $6. But it's still a lot cheaper than, oh, Kathy, if you get their emails, just try just get their paper catalog. It really, really does help. It's fun. And there's good pictures. And if nothing else, it gives you good ideas. All right, I'm going to give those another minute. I'm going to take them out, and then we're going to see what they look like on the inside. Yeah. Going to have me some zucchini bread. And, you know, okay, so I've been trying. I hate the subject, but I'm going to hit it for a minute. You know, I was a college athlete. I kind of gotten a little chunky over the years. Not exactly the me that I think I am. And, you know, when I'm not looking in a mirror, I think I'm just ready and raring to go, and I'm a hot mama. In the meantime, I'm a little chunky. And it's interesting because what I found over the years is that people make excuses for me. Like it's okay. And I know it's okay. I'm not like killing myself, beating myself up over it. Well, sometimes I do. But anyway. But everybody's like, oh, but you had 6 kids. I don't care. I have a friend who's got 8 kids, and she's like this, you know? Like, whatever. Yeah, part of it, I know the predisposition is genetic. I was a college athlete. I worked out regular. And in fact, over the last 30 years, I go kind of go in spurts. Sometimes I was just too busy. I was a mom of 6. I was just too busy to take care of me. I was too busy taking care of them. The fact is, if I had taken out a little bit of time to take care of me, I probably would have had more energy to give during that time, and I can get more things done in a short period of time. And I kind of, you know, have to practice what I preach. You know, I tell people that, and then, you know, trying to find the time myself. So for me, you know, I've, you know, again, started a new thing. I was working out regular since Thanksgiving. I started doing CrossFit with my son, and over at the gym with Enzo and Erica. Nico wasn't back yet, but then Nico got back too from when he was in Jordan. And I was going 2 to 3 times, most of the time, mostly twice a week, but 2 to 3 times a week. And I'll tell you what, I was feeling good. But I was doing a lot that was making my knees were sore. And I know that part of it is just that I'm at that place. I've got 2 bad knees. I've had ACL reconstructions on both of them. One of them in 1983 and one of them in 2003. Big difference. So my old bad knee is my bad knee. My new bad knee is my good knee. But they were sore. And I think I was doing too much. That like I could do those things, but I needed to take some of the weight off of the knees before I was doing some of those things. And I was pushing myself a little too hard. And then what I ended up doing was going down the stairs one day. I just jammed my knee and I was pretty much limping around here all of probably end of January, beginning of February. So all of February and most of March. Halfway, because I think it was still bothering me when I first started doing this on March 13th. So I'm finally starting slowly to get back and doing some stuff. And I'm just walking right now. Walking and doing a little weights. So, and at my pace. Okay, Marilyn, I'm going to tell you something. I am a mother. And when somebody just says to me, the recipe, well, I'm going to get aggravated. The recipe will be posted as soon as I'm done, and I will post it at the top of the page at the link to the recipe. But we say, may I have, please, things like that on my show, you know? The recipe just, people, we gotta be the example as mothers, as women, as fathers, as men, as people, as humans, you know? Come on. Capiche? Can I tell you a story about this? When my kids were little, I was teaching them all the, words in Italian. And, we do the typical little things. They were like, 4. And, occhi is eyes. Naso is nose. Bocca is mouth. And so I was giving them, so one day I was saying, okay, and this is mano. And they go, oh, like schiaff? And I go, because un schiaffo, a schiaff in dialect, is a smack on the culo. Anyway, it was, I had this thing where I used to go, all right, 3, 2, 1, schiaff. So they never wanted to get to schiaff, so they were good kids. But it was so funny. I was dying because I said, oh, this is mano. And they're like, oh, like schiaff. And I'm like, oh, no. What did I teach them? So anyway, I just feel like, the things that we teach our kids without them realizing it is just too funny. So that's that. So anyway, and know that, I apologize ahead of time, but I don't really apologize. I am that mom. I am that person that will call someone out if I see them. You should see me. I'm horrible. My kids hate when I'm outside and the weather's nice, and sometimes people zip by down the street and I'll be yelling, slow down! Ooh, and my kids are like, Mom! And I'm like, you know what? This is my corner, and doggone it, I was going to say another word. I'm going to go check on those muffins. Don't go anywhere. Okie dokie. I'm back. Ooh, look at these babies. Aren't they cute? They puffed up so nice. Look at that. Let's put them down. Let's pop. Oh, look at this. I brought this over to pop them out. Look at, don't even have to pop them out. They just come right out. All right, I'm going to take one out and let it sit for a second. And we're going to cut it open. They're so cute and little. These are the perfect pop in your mouth. Whew. Get me a... Oh, I just want to pop it in my mouth now, but let's see. Oh, it's got a nice little crispy outside. And the inside is so, look at it. Can you see it steaming? It's steaming. Don't do it. Don't eat it while it's so hot. That's too funny. I'm going to take a little teeny piece. Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. I'm not going to eat it while it's hot, but that little corner wasn't hot. But I am going to be sharing. I'm making some of these. I don't know where I'm going to take some to, but that was really good. Actually, you know, when they're this little, they cool off so much faster. So the outside has that nice little bit of crisp, you know, that's like almost like that. You know, you would think there was more sugar in these because it does have that little crisp on the outside, but the inside is so, look at this, they're just so, even in these little teeny ones, it has crust all the way around. Look at just how nice and moist they are on the inside. It's just, you can tell it like squeezes together. Although that would be darn good with a nice cappuccino tomorrow morning. Nice slice of it on the bigger one. I'll save these for the kids, and these are going to be my little giveaways. I'm going to bag these up, put 3 or 4 in a little bag, and just give them away, and it's going to be cool. It's fun. I love giving little things to people. Here, have some. Here, have some. Want a bite? Want a taste? So anyway, so I'm changing a few things the way I'm doing them. So what I'm going to be doing from now on is I'm going to try before, but you know, I will be honest with you guys. Sometimes I don't know what I'm making till the morning. And so I don't always have time to put the recipe up before I cook, but I'm getting there. I really am trying to get help with this stuff and have a production team eventually. I really want to make this. I'm so enjoying this, and you guys have made this happen for me, and I just feel like I can teach so many people and share my passion for cooking. I am writing a cookbook, but it's not going to be a cookbook. It's going to be a book about cooking. That's what's different about my cookbook. It's a book about cooking, and yes, there will be lots of recipes in it. But see, I like cookbooks with stories and pictures. It's me, so I'm going to do it the way I like it, and I hope that others will like it the same. So when you know, I get to the point where I can do things better. Every day I'm trying to do something better. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting my recipes in one place on the blog on my website. So I'm writing up the recipes. I'm telling you the story about it, and I'm putting the link. As soon as I get it done, I'm putting in the link to the recipe in the top here above the video. So that way you can just go to the link for the written recipe, and you can see it. I'll also have the links to the written recipes under when I have them in the YouTube channel, because I'm kind of transferring a lot of them to the YouTube channel. And I want to let you guys know that eventually I'm going to be I might switch the lives over to YouTube. So if I do, just be sure that we'll be, you know, make sure you sign up for the YouTube channel also, because I may be doing some lives here and some lives there, some both, some whatever, I'm not sure. I'm trying to see what's going to work best and easiest for me. Trying to streamline stuff a little bit now that I've done so much learning. You know, if you guys have been home these couple months and you haven't learned something, shame on you. Learn something new. I've had so much fun. I have watched so many webinars and online little freebie classes, all free ones. Just take what they'll give you for free, because you put this together with this together with this together, and you can get started doing whatever it is you want to do. You know, if there's something that after you've tried a bunch of free ones and you find one you really like, you want to pay for some course, by all means, go for it. But test out a bunch of the free ones and see which one resonates with you and which one actually gives you quality. Like, I'm not going to give any names, but there was 2 different webinars I watched that were both kind of on a similar topic about how to grow your, you know, kind of grow your business online. Both of them gave me some good tips, but the one gal, she talked so much about, oh, and you know how you feel this way, and you know how you feel. So she was getting everybody to feel this way, you know, to commiserate in their misery, get it? To commiserate in their misery. And she gave a couple of points that were good, but they were like one here, one here, one here. And you had to listen to this whole hour of her just going, and you know when you can't do this, and you know how you feel about that. And it's just, you know, it's just crazy. And so this other gal went straight to the point. She gave you some great tips, and then she went straight to the point and trying to, because the other gal then, of course, is trying to sell you her gajillion-dollar course. the second gal gave a whole lot of really good content, really good stuff that I could use. And then she went into her sales pitch, which was quick and short and sweet. And that was that. But she gave me something of quality, which made me appreciate her so much more. So in the end, if I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy it from her. You know, instead of this whole, I'm trying to rally everybody up because we're all miserable. Don't we all feel the same way? And it was spent more time on that. And I'm like, you know what? I already know how I feel. I don't need you to tell me some more. So pay attention to what you spend your money on. And if you're not sure, ask me, because I am like the queen of like, I don't know, I'm like, I should have been a detective. I love researching and finding stuff in, like, whether it's a recipe or a law. One time we had something, I had to do some legal work. I wasn't a lawyer. I was like 29, and we had some issue with a former employer of my husband's. And you know what? They were trying to like really give it to us. Well, I ended up on the phone with the lawyer. I ordered the book from the government of the, what is it? The Department of Labor, this whole book of all the rules. And I said to him, by in Article 2.7 of page and such and this and that of the Department of Labor work in something, whatever book it was, it says this, and it says this. And I gave him all these he's like, and I could just hear him. It was almost as if I could hear his mouth hit the table. He was like, "Are you a lawyer?" I was like, "No, I'm a mom." "You should be a lawyer." In the end, we won. And rightfully so. It wasn't that, screwed anybody out of anything. But I didn't get taken for something that I, felt strongly about. So, where there's a will, there's a way, but it's just about digging and digging and digging and not giving up. Never, never, never give up. Never gonna get it from me. Anyway, so I really want the rest of this muffin. There's so many things that we can be doing and learning right now. So here's what you're gonna do. Tomorrow, you're gonna come on, and instead of saying hi, you're gonna say, "Hi, Dorina. By the way, during quarantine, I learned how to knit, or I learned how to garden, or I learned how to build a table, or I want to know something you have learned during quarantine." Or you can put it under here. Yeah, put it under here. Forget tomorrow. We'll forget tomorrow. And that's it. I think that on that note, I'm going to end. Tell me what you've learned new. Write it under the comments here, what you've learned new during quarantine, or what you're going to start learning today. Quarantine's not over. And, life isn't over. So always got to be doing new things, I think that I don't know what I want to do new yet, but I'm going to think of something, because I'm always doing something new. I make crap up all the time. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Yep. And there I go. I just go do it, good or bad. So I'm going to go put the rest of my zucchini bread in the oven, and I'm going to make lunch for my fam. I have no idea. I think we're just going to have a big salad today because it's so hot and muggy. And you guys have a wonderful day. Please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're new here on the page, then please also go over to youtube.com/dorinaskitchen and hit the little subscribe. Also like this page and hit the little dingy bell so you know when I'm coming live. I really appreciate it. So that way I can keep coming and being here for you. All right. Love you guys. Mwah. Ciao.